Hi, this is Tamika LaShawn Aaron, the creator of Life Creation Coaching International, and also the creator of the Living Anxiety Free Forever Project. So today is a very important day. Today we're talking about symptoms, and symptoms could mean all kinds of things. I have some information here that's from the APA, the American Psychiatric Association. I also have information here from the American Psychological Association, the ADAA, which is the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, and also some information here from a site, internet site that I'm sure many of you have used, which is WebMD. And I wanted to really talk about symptoms, which is massive. When you're dealing with anxiety, you're dealing with depression, there are so many experiences or things that are going on in your mind, your body, your emotions that can be seen as symptoms. So some of the things, if you're having panic, it's the pounding heart, the pounding chest, sweating, your hands are sweating, you're actually profusing sweating from your body, dizziness, lightheadedness, but also per the WebMD, symptoms can also look as constant worry, difficulty making decisions, forgetfulness, inability to concentrate. Of course, many people know that. Loss of sense of humor, poor memory, bossiness, critical attitude towards others, explosive actions. Rage is a really big part of dealing with anxiety and depression. Impulsive actions, also withdrawal from relationships or social situations. Emotional signs are anger, crying, feelings of powerlessness, frequent mood swings. And that's not even all of the list here. There's so much to talk about. I can't really talk, I'm not going to talk to each one of these different symptoms. Insomnia is a really big one that a lot of people talk to me about. As a law of attraction expert, as a person that coaches people how to heal their anxiety and depression through law of attraction and other universal spiritual principles, and helping them to do it in relief and in more of an ease and effortlessness, because believe me, I understand people with anxiety and depression already are fighting themselves enough that they need no more effort, or nothing else in their life is going to have to cause a lot more effort and force, and you got to work through this, But the first thing that I can talk about, people say, well, how, they're coming to my meetups or my workshops, and they're saying, how can we stop these symptoms? How can we stop the palpitations of the heart? And there are techniques that I use in my trainings or in my telecourses, is a form of meditation. And there are different kinds of forms of meditation out there, and even under the WebMD, they talk about how relaxation is one of the biggest ways to begin to cope with stress. It says here, in order to cope with stress, you need to learn how to relax. Relaxing is a learned skill. It takes commitment and practice. Relaxation is more than sitting back and being quiet. Rather, it's active process involving techniques that calm your body and your mind. It says, and I love this part, true relaxation requires becoming sensitive to your basic needs for peace, self-awareness, and thoughtful reflection. The challenge is being willing to meet these needs rather than dismissing them. And this is straight from the doctor. And this doctor talks about different relaxation techniques: deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, guided imagery, relaxation to music. So these are some of the things, but the first thing I would like to talk about, and these are some of the processes and the practices and the tools that you can begin to use to begin to reduce the number of symptoms that you're experiencing. So, one of the first things that I would really like to talk about, in addition to what these doctors and what the APA and all of these people are saying, is that prevention is the order of the day when it comes to symptoms. When you're right smack in a symptom, I would want to encourage a person to begin to practice diligent self-awareness. So, for instance, the other day I was working with a client, and the client became aware that she was in a lot of pain, mental and emotional pain. and she felt blocked. She began to feel, power, feeling like, she wasn't going to make it. Her life was falling apart, and she was literally kind of falling apart right before her own eyes, because we were on the phone. And so I walked her through some processes of helping her ground. So number one, ground, really becoming into her body, practicing some self-awareness, because things had begun to trigger her. And what happens is, when a person is living in anxiety and depression, some of the triggers are so deep within the unconscious or the subconscious, or have been buried for so long, that there's just this general static, like you really don't know why you're feeling that way. And this is one of the perks that, as being a coach and a law of attraction person, or a person that uses universal spiritual laws to teach people how to release anxiety and depression easily and more effortlessly, is I don't have to go back into their story. I don't even really want them retelling the story. So what I helped this person do is to begin to get her energy flowing again, get her energy, the blocks that she was experiencing at that time that caused her to not see any possibility for her life. I helped her right in the middle to begin to release that, to begin to refocus herself and refocus her mind and her emotions on being present within her body, feeling, releasing, acknowledging, and loving herself, and congratulating herself for going through this process. And what I do with people as I help them to deal with their symptoms right in the middle is I help them take these steps. But what I always encourage is to use these steps on a daily basis. So I like to say it like this: I would rather you have general daily maintenance, as opposed to having to keep going into the shop for a body repair, or a mind repair, or a car repair. Because as you work on it little by little every day, meaning using these techniques, and this is what I do, I provide many opportunities and group programs for people to come together and feel the support, so that they can literally begin to master and rearrange and master their mind and their emotions again. So when it comes to symptoms, I would like to encourage everyone to kind of, in a way, forget about the symptoms, but work on it on a daily basis. Work on, and even here they're talking about, WebMD talks about deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation. You can do these things all on your own. Yoga is a very big thing that people use in order to help them release anxiety and depression. But here's the thing: you have to start the practice. These are all practices. Guided imagery, relaxation to music. I have part of my program is also offering people meditations with music that helps them to, on a daily basis, like I said, ground themselves in their body, connect with their body, begin to acknowledge and notice what's going on, what emotions are coming up, where is that, where are you feeling that, or experiencing that in your body. Acknowledge it, and this is going to come up in another video that I have. But instead of constricting yourself when you're starting to feel these symptoms, you're starting to feel your hand, your heart is beating, you're like, oh my gosh, your mind is kind of going out of control. This is where those practices are very important, the daily meditation, because what happens is, as you practice, you're building a habit. But if you only do these practices to help you release all of this pent up energy, all of these blockages, if you just wait until you're actually having an episode or having an experience at that time, you won't really remember. You're just going to get stuck. You're going to get kind of lost in the process, which I say is okay, because what you're doing is learning here. You're actually, what my programs are literally retraining grounds. This is what they do. It's about helping you retrain your thoughts and get connected with your emotions again, so that you can begin to guide them, as opposed to allowing them to kind of lead your life. So when it comes to symptoms, that's what I encourage people to do, to really begin a practice of daily meditation, daily relaxation, daily doing things, and I'll talk about this in another, releasing and letting go, expanding as opposed to constricting. So as I was saying a little earlier, when you start to feel those symptoms, or you're starting to, when you realize, because people are caught, I tell you, people can be caught in these loops, in this tape that's playing over and over in their heads for years. And this is how we get this way. This is how we become anxiety ridden, or stuck in the misery of depression, because we literally had some tape, some old thought patterns going over and over, and we couldn't get out. And I want to say, I'm here for you. There, I'm doing some research right now, and I'm reading how over 40 million people back in 2009 was diagnosed with having anxiety. And even now, internet is having, now there's, more anxiety is going on with Facebook and all of these social apps. So many things are going on. So I want to encourage you, go out, go to my website, www.lifecreationcoaching.com, get on my e-zine list, receive my tips, hear the success stories of people. Also, I'm starting, I have a MP3 downloads, a program that you can, a low cost program you can buy. I don't know, it's going to be probably like $39.99 or $49.99 or something like that. That's going to walk you through these processes. But I say, get connected. You can't afford to waste your life anymore. You can't afford to, look back when you're older and say, man, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have taken those steps. And even in, and I don't have that here, or here it is actually, with the American Psychiatric Association. It says, unfortunately, many people with anxiety don't seek help. They don't realize that they have an illness that has known causes and effective treatments. Well, I don't call it an illness, because I know it's energy, it's it's emotions, it's thoughts, and you can begin to release that. It says other people fear their family, friends, or co-workers might criticize them if they get help. I say, get help. There are too many people out there who are not fully living their lives, and I want you to be one of the ones that step into your healing, your health, and your well-being. So, like I said, hopefully this video was helpful a little bit. I didn't get specific. If you really feel like you're ready to take this step, email me, Tamika@lifecreationcoaching.com, and order my low cost programs, and get connected, and get the kind of community that you need, because the truth is, and I'm going to be really honest, we can know how to do these processes, but when people are dealing with a lot of anxiety, unless you're fed up, you just need the support in order to take the steps. And that's why I'm here, because I want that number 40 million. Some people say, well, it's 5 years later, it's more than 25 million. I don't know. There's studies now that are going on to get more of the accurate present time number, and especially since a lot of those people who of that 40 million that was identified, there were so many people who weren't identified, who had never gone to see a psychiatrist or a psychologist, and so they're not even on the radar. So I want to say, I'm here for you. Contact me, sign up, do what you need to do, get connected, and let's heal together. Let's live anxiety and depression free forever.